But at night on my trip to New York, there was this TV station that I used to listen to. It was called, it was by George Noory. Um, I'm sure a lot of you people have heard of the station. I just can't think of the name of it right now. Coast to Coast is what it was. Coast to Coast used to, George Noory used to interview people, and these people would be talking about aliens, or maybe numerology, or psychology, or pyramids, Easter Island, Stonehenge, why the pyramids were built, just about every conceivable subject that you could imagine. And when I found something that perked my interest, that was part of my search for God, I would get on the computer when I got home and I'd start researching whatever it was that they mentioned. And I did this for years. I would say a good 10 years. And over and above that, I would read books, and so, you know, I looked into everything. And one day, George Noory was interviewing this person called Zecharia Sitchin. And this man was credited with translating the clay tablets they found in the ancient city of Sumer. You might know it by Sumeria. And these clay tablets were unearthed, and they had a language on them that nobody had ever heard of. And so Zecharia Sitchin translated these, and you know, I have to tell you that the books were very interesting, but they were very hard to read. They were full of names, and the people that was mentioned in his books were, according to him, were living thousands upon thousands of years. And you know, the more I read, the more I seemed to feel that his translations weren't exactly correct, because you know yourself, when if you've never heard a language, you're doing your best to translate it, and so I just felt like there was something missing in them. So I went to research the information in his books. I think I read about 3 or 4 of his books. They were interesting, but they needed more research. So I got on a computer and I was going back and forth to Michael Tellinger's website, you know, because Michael Tellinger was actually researching the things in Sitchin's books. And he started a group of like-minded people, and their conclusions of the book and what life was all about was correct in some aspects and not in others. And I cannot say that they were on the right track, but I was following what they were doing, so if they were on the wrong track, so wasn't I. But at one point, going back and forth to Sitchin and Michael Tellinger, I know I forgot Michael Tellinger's website address, so I went to the search engine. I typed in Michael Tellinger like I had done many, many times before. And when I pressed enter, a page popped up that I had never seen before. So I went to close out the page so that I could get to Michael Tellinger's website. But before I could get the little arrow to click off the page, something inside me said, read it. And so I did. I've been reading it ever since. But I'm not going to tell you what that book was, because I am going to tell you what's in it, because I've told many people many times before where to find this book. And mind you, it took me 10 years to find it. And I looked very hard for it. And I'm thinking to myself lately, well, if you really want the truth, you should work as hard for it as I did. Because when somebody gives you something, you don't really appreciate it. And not like something that you actually work for. If you're truly interested in God, then you will look somewhere else other than the Bible. Now, I can't say whether God finally figured out that my heart was pure and I was going to look for this, like I said, for the rest of my life. Or maybe he figured, you know, the guy suffered enough, I'm just going to show him where to go. Whatever it was, or even if God wasn't even involved, I don't know, but I feel like he was. So here I am with this book, and my search has ended. Now, in the next video, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I have learned in this book. I'm going to tell you things about Jesus that you will not find in the Bible. And the reason why I know this book is true and everything in it is true is because I did my research. All them years as I was reading this book, all those things that I learned, them little bits of information, you know, the Mayan civilization, Easter Island, the Nassau Plains, Stonehenge, and all the things that I learned from them, the red men in North America, an untouched race up until we got here. All these things, as I was reading this book, all these things that I had learned, I started recalling. That's how I know the book is true. Plus the fact that there is an unbelievable amount of scriptures in the Bible that coincide with this. So, stay tuned, because you're going to learn more about Jesus, the greatest man that ever lived. With that, I hope I entertained you today. I hope I perked your interest. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and that bell if you want to be notified for the next video. The more people subscribe, the more people I can reach, because Google and YouTube figured that if there's a lot of interest in what I have to say, then they're going to put my videos up to the front of the line. So if you like what you've heard so far, please help me out to help other people. With that, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.